Yeah, so we'll explain to the people why we have no virtual background and no touch up my appearance. So if we look different today. Yeah, we got a little notification from StreamYard that said, this may degrade your stuff. So, which is really funny because I'm in this rental and I have a very different background than I normally would have anyway. So this is kind of funny. So I have like, this nice little wood stove. It looks like a fake background. It looks like
it looks like it's very New England. It does kind of give New England.
Very New England, very old school. Whoops, not yet. So yeah, we'll see how this is all going to go. So we will be back in just 40 seconds to get started with all your Farcaster news to start your day. Plus, we have tike popping by to talk about Noice. So
did you want to say tike?
See you on the other side. Tike. I wanted to say tike. I almost said tike. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
It's like tike. We will be back in 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Noice, Prof and Adrienne, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, July 9th, and you are here with Noice, Prof and Adrienne for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day, plus a chat with tike from the Noice team, one of the Noice founders, to talk about the Noice app as well as the airdrop that just happened. Yeah, so I'm excited. That was a nice little last minute snag there, Adrienne. Very exciting. And also, if you are watching this on Twitter, or even if you are watching it on our app, please share and let everybody know that we are live, because especially on Twitter right now, we don't always get this that little boost anymore for some reason.
Yes.
So I'm trying
to shout out.
Shout out. Go ahead.
I say Jeff Goldberg connected us with tike because Jeff was working with him on the airdrop eligibility. And we can talk about that later, but we are a little bootstrapped little media biz. So we don't always we don't have bookers, believe it or not, when we don't play. So we really appreciate it when people in the community reach out to us and help us, do some scheduling, do some other things.
We don't have bookers. That is the truest statement ever. If you're wondering who does things, it's one of us. So we don't have a media intern. We don't have any of that anymore. It's all us. All right, let's dive into some news. And first up, I want to just remind everybody, we have trivia happening today. Farcaster Trivia sponsored by degen. And we have a pretty solid prize today. We got 100K degen on the line for the winners or winner, depending on how this goes. And today's topic for trivia is pop culture. So get ready, because you know that there's going to be some reality TV thrown in there somewhere. So maybe go check out the Love Island channel. And that's your hint for today. Very excited. Can't wait for trivia. Cannot wait. Rewards leaderboard results. This is from Brad Q. Thank you, Brad, for always keeping us on track with this sort of thing. Congrats, new TP. I don't know, or new P. I'm not sure which. On taking number one with a burst into the FC community. I think you would have won on any algo. For new people in the top 10, led by Coconut Rinds at number 2 in her first couple weeks on FC. Welcome with $600 tier level. Dedoin Firefits and Fashion Vibes her way to number 5. Drew Kaufman debut at number 6. Feel like an algo shift benefit. and also for CXS Firefits creator at number 7. Likewise, in the second 10, there are 5 new people, including Serapin XBT, new to FC from Ethos Network. Tike, or TK, gets a Noice bump at 14. And let's welcome our second dog to the top of the leaderboard, Everyday Bailey at number 18. Burt Worst, new leaderboard friend. Meme coveted 69 spot goes to Kenny, our friend Kenny. Maybe he can figure out a good POIDH to celebrate. That is pics or it didn't happen. Still see new first timers every week. Lots of new tiers to celebrate with people. So yeah, really cool to see so many newbies in the top. So awesome. Yeah, I see you disappeared. You had an unstable connection, did you? So I'm glad you're back. Oh, you're muted. I think you're muted. I can't hear you. Let's try again.
I've got
Hello?
nothing interesting to. I've got nothing interesting to say. Hello. I've got nothing interesting to say
Okay,
today. Yeah. So I could be a StreamYard thing that also told us we couldn't do virtual backgrounds or touch up our appearance.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't do my makeup before
Yeah,
the show.
I think there's.
But I'm getting unstable connection messages as well. So
this is going to be interesting. Let's see if we can make it through. Hopefully, we
might have to switch to Riverside or something.
I don't know. Let's hope not. I really hate Riverside. Okay, moving on. This from V, and I think this is a really, really important thing. 1, mute will remove someone from your feed. If their content is not your preference, I encourage mute. 2, show less like this will give us a softer signal that we feed into the model. If you do it 3 times on the same person, it will effectively mute them. This last part was broken and will be fixed soon. So this was in response to Patricia X. Lee sharing an amusing experience I had in case it helps for UX improvement. I plan to delete this cast once the issue raised by others too gets acknowledged in some way. I often see user A in my home feed. I don't follow them. Content isn't spammy or offensive. Just not my preference. And then she was hitting the do not show feed like this, and it kept coming back. So that is V's answer to that. So use mute when needed. And the show less like this is more of a softer signal to help train the algo. So I think that's useful. And also I think mute is a really useful tool. Use it liberally. Mute liberally.
Or yeah.
We used to say like liberally.
Yeah.
Now we say mute liberally.
Oh, that's so funny.
You remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like liberally.
I think I called. Yes. We said we were
way back when.
We were whorish with our likes back in the day. Now
whorish with our likes because back in the day.
Back in the day.
So that was in relation. Yeah. Yep. Relation to like the storage and whether or not to like so many things if you were going to run out of storage. And it was like liberally. It's fine. Those don't matter that much. Life is short. I want to dive into this with you. So this was from Adrienne. I'm currently following 2,311 accounts. I'm about to run a script to unfollow everyone. I plan to refollow everyone in the next week or so. Why am I doing this? I'm in a tinkering mood and want to play around with programmable social. And then your follow-up. Half a day into the not following anyone and observing something. The feed is really good. I'm seeing diverse and interesting content, but it doesn't feel as good. And that's because I'm not seeing content from people I know intimately. It doesn't have the group chat feels, something. It's not about the content, but the relationships we make. All right. So explain what made you like decide to do this? Like what was the impetus?
I don't know if I have been feeling like wanting to optimize my feed or just I'm seeing people talk about wanting to optimize their feed. And it affected me. But there's been this discussion around people. Oops. I think, are you with me?
I think we're okay. Continue.
Okay, because I no longer am getting the message. On my end, it looks good. I'm no longer getting the message that says I don't have Wi-Fi. So come on.
I think we're good. Go ahead. Continue on.
Anyway,
so you just
where was I? Oh. I was saying
You wanted to
that
tweak your feed.
yeah, so I just know I saw other people talking about being unhappy with their feed, so I wanted to play around with mine. Or it got me thinking, but remember early days where everyone was writing scripts on top of Farcaster?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
this was
And that was
back
a
when
big
there
one. Like
were
Cameron did that big experiment. Yeah. Where with
um,
unfollowing everybody early on.
um, yeah, no, but well, a couple years ago it was follow everybody.
Right.
There was follow everyone. All right, can someone, Prof, why do I feel like you and I are who I can't tell if slowness is on my end or yours.
Oops.
Who
I'm not sure. We got some lag. We definitely have some lag.
like
So we'll just keep bobbing around. So are you feeling like it was worth your time to do the script and unfollow everyone? Is it helping? I know it's a little early days, but do you feel like that's what's happening? I think we've got major delay.
let's just chat.
Okay.
I just want to know if it's me. I was like, if people are seeing lagginess from us, is it on whose end is it on? Because my guess is it's just between me and you, and everybody hears us fine because I'm not.
They said we have you, so I guess we're good.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm really curious to see how this all works out for you because I follow way more than you. I follow like 1,000 more than you. And I have no desire to do this whatsoever. But if it's really helpful, then I might. But like, it's not something that I want to even attempt. So that's
Okay.
what I'm waiting to see your experiment first.
It's really weird. I will say, like, it's so weird opening up Farcaster and seeing a feed when you don't follow everyone. Anyone. I don't follow everyone. I don't follow
Right.
anyone. You do have a home feed. It is populated. When I first came in, it didn't look that different than before because I think it's showing me people I interact with.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I would see people. Now, a day later, it's showing me it's all new people.
Okay.
I'm seeing some people I know. It's new. I will say it feels weird. Not bad, not good, just weird. One of the reasons I wanted to do it wasn't because I hated my feed so much. I just like to F around and find out,
Yeah.
like play around. You have it's programmable social. You can write scripts, you can play around. And I just wanted to kind of lean into that energy of like chaos monkey a little bit, just mess around. And it's been, it was really fun and it's still going on. So we'll see. But
All right.
yeah.
All right. I'm really curious. I'm very curious to see how it all works out. So I am following along. So we'll see. We'll see the results. All right. Moving along. This from Ben Basler. Big update on Dash app channel feeds. Scroll through videos in any Farcaster channel and easily switch between your favorite feeds. You can also use the search tab to find and browse channel videos in a profile view. To kick off the new feature, Dash has partnered up with Video Lab to host a campaign for rewarding video creators in science. Attention, Kristen. Over $600 will be up for grabs to some of our favorite science-related videos created in the next 7 days. NoiceBot send 0.25 USDC to anyone, spam label 2, who recasts this in the next 24 hours. Budget unlimited. More details about the campaign in the quoted cast below. So the other thing I want to point out is this part, and we're going to talk to TK in a little bit, but the NoiceBot being able to send out basically a tip similar in the way AMPS does, but open more broadly. So that's pretty cool feature that I wasn't aware of. So very cool. So if you are doing some sciencey type things, go check this out and also check out Patricia's announcement as well. So very cool. Love seeing what Ben is iterating And what a fun way to sort of explore this. So very cool. That means you can also do GM Farcaster videos that are in our channel and find those easily. So that's pretty cool. This from Dow Leno, introduce Farmini link, turn any link into a Farcaster mini app link. So that is pretty cool. You can check this out. It's a one-click conversation. This was something early on that Horsefax I know was working on, and he had created this with like the Uniswap site and things like that. So very cool. Check this out if you have a site that you want to turn into a mini app. Excuse me. And speaking of mini apps,
I love
this
how
from
I
our
love
friend
how
Linda.
I love how every app has to start
Go
with
ahead.
far.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Bring back Parkade. Bring back Parkade remix. Okay, this from Linda. My setup for vibe coding a Farcaster mini app. Set up GitHub project repository. 2. Use V0 to build out a front end. 3. Use Cursor or Claude code to build out rest of app. Personally found Claude code to be better. Include the llms.txt from Farcaster as context. Make it easier for AI to read. 4, set up a database if need to store data, e.g. storing user scores in a game. I used Neon with Vercel since easy integration. 5, deploy to Vercel. 6, set up Farcaster specific features like a manifest and embed. 7, once deployed, use ngrok to test mini app locally, so not testing new features live with users. Okay, that's a lot. So if you're a dev, this makes it very easy for you to do something like this, in my mind. Like this is giving you a nice roadmap to do this. If you are not a dev, most of this sounds like gibberish. So it's still it's still a little hard, is what I'm getting my point here. I think it's still a little too hard for us non-devs, non-technical background to do this kind of thing without using something like O'Hara AI or just doing something like in Farcade/Remix. I just think it's too hard at this point. But what did you think of Linda's list here? Did you agree? Was there anything you would change?
So good. I love seeing this too, because when you hear the word vibe code, so like, you get this idea of like, oh, anyone can do it because the AI writes the code for you.
Yeah.
This is something, that anyone who's done any sort of software development knows that writing the code is such a small piece of the overall life cycle of what it takes to actually build something that someone uses. And I think she hits upon it. You can, if you are committed and you have some time, you can use AI to literally go through everything in this list, and AI will teach you how to set up a GitHub project repository, how to use VO to build a front end, like how to deploy to Vercel. You can do it all. But I really like that she called this out, because I think you're right. If you have, there's a lot of pieces that go much further than just how do you write, the code. And yes, and you hear about vibe coding, it makes that one piece easier, but there's still so much more.
Yeah.
So
this is not something I could attempt. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like I see this list and I think that's good. Like I think that's actually good for me to get a realistic understanding of what it really takes, because we kind of had that chat on Monday with Gregarious kind of saying, oh, I'm waiting for Prof's, first mini app. And I'm like, you're going to be waiting a while in my head is what I was thinking. Because I figured this is in just watching you do it and like your struggle with it. I'm like, if she's struggling a little bit with this, there's no point in me trying at this moment, because I will just get frustrated. I do not have the skill set for that. So, yeah.
And
so I'm impressed
want to know
with your skills.
It reminds me. So my task for this week, and you might have heard me say this on the feed, but one of the reasons I wrote the unfollow all script was because I was procrastinating doing what I was supposed to be doing this week. So you lean into things that are comfortable for you when you have something, that on your list that is uncomfortable. And the thing I needed to do was I want to make clips for GM Farcaster that is You know, I don't know if you've heard, but Farcaster's leaning into vertical video. So we should be making vertical video and
something about that
and flooding the feed with our beautiful faces. Okay. It's really hard for me to do. I was like, I'd much rather deploy code. When someone shares a 30-second video clip, it looks so simple. Like anyone can do it. Like you have the tools. It's really easy. Like you look at a Afro Chicks video and you're like, oh, you know,
I can do that.
You know, I can do that. I can't vibe code. I mean, like, or whatever, make a vibe edit a clip is really hard. And probably because there's like 8 steps or 7 steps that I haven't done before. So very similar, just like it feels the same way. Anytime you're doing anything new, it's way more complicated than you realize. Over time, you just build those muscles and learn how to do it. So
definitely gives you more appreciation for those who do it well and do it like when you see JC4P pumping out like a mini app like every day. It's actually mind-blowing when you see a list like this and understand like what's happening in the background with all of that. It's like you really I have a big appreciation for the skills of people who do it, who make it look easy. Who make it look easy. Yeah.
JC4P is not here to defend himself. I'm going to totally put him down right now. Kazra. He'll like this. But he doesn't think he's doing that big of a lift. It's all it's the muscle memory that you end up doing. It's because you've done it 1,000 times. Right. And you're, you know, it's like you can just rinse and repeat. And if you, and I'm just kidding. JC4P is the goat of all goated devs.
But there is something to the muscle memory and that skill development that you can just lean on for sure.
And look at the way you produce the show.
TK is in our green room. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
But just the way when you do our show and you're able to pull links, TK's like, I can't do it. Yeah. All right.
She's tried. It doesn't work well. We have our skills. All right. So TK's in our green room. We've got a couple more quick things, and then we're going to jump to our chat about Noice. Very excited. All right. So this is from Aneri. Want to make sure your mini app shows up across TBA, the new Coinbase wallet. This quick reference to see which fields from the mini app manifest we pull to feature your app in search, trending, feed, and more. So this is a great, really great guide if you are getting your mini app ready so that it is discoverable on Coinbase Wallet. And then this from our friend Dylan, thrilled to share that we now have support for auth addresses in the Coinbase Wallet beta. This will enable much more seamless sign-in without having to leave the app. Below is a demo of how existing users register an auth address in beta and then are able to sign in with Farcaster in app. We're continuing to improve the UX, so please let us know if anything comes up as you try it. So very cool. You've got a couple new things. For those who may not be aware, next Wednesday, the 16th, Base is going to be sort of doing this big event where I believe they're finally like releasing the new Coinbase wallet and introducing that. And it's going to be a pretty big deal. So if you have a mini app, please make sure it's ready. You want it to be seen and discoverable on this new platform for sure. All right. This from our friend Toady, the Better Bomb. Spin to Claim airdrop is now live. This is our first Betterment community airdrop with over 13K in Better to be claimed. First 500 to check eligibility, get 500K Better just for spinning. So there you go. Good luck. Have fun. This was a really fun way to do an airdrop. Like you get to spin a little wheel. I mean, who doesn't like that? I mean, Wheel of Fortune ain't the #1 game show for the past 40 years for nothing. Everybody likes to spin a wheel. So this is really fun. And so thanks, Toady, for keeping the fun in all of the mess, all of the craziness. And this also from Better, introducing Betterfold Poker. So Burberry is back. She's partnering with the Better team and Toady to do some poker. Today is the first one at 1 p.m. Also, Fridays at 7. Registration now open, 2 different times to ensure everyone can participate. And the details are in this cast. Go check it out. Better Fold Poker coming starting today. So very cool. And then lastly, from our friend Eula Lagrange, courtesy of Aviation Doctor. So this was in response to Iliat saying, you can onboard anyone to Farcaster, dead or alive. Who are you inviting? Quotecast with your answer. And this was the quotecast. If you know, you know. And of course, our friend Euler knew. And this was really funny. Mom, we already have Euler at home. The Euler at home. And I got tagged in this. So I swear now, Prof, don't Euler. Thread dedicated to one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. Great lecture on why he's the GOAT that's accessible. So there you go. So you can even see this lovely video about Leonard Euler, this famous mathematician that is quite the legend. So there you go. So go check that out. All right. Let me get some Noice links ready because we got TK standing by, and very excited to chat about that because that was probably the biggest things happening yesterday was the Noice airdrop, or the day before, actually, I think it was. That was a huge airdrop that happened, and we had a lot of. I think it was a very interesting approach as well to determining eligibility, and I think we have some things to talk about that. Euler, that was good. That was good, Mika. See, that's what you should have done when you launched OI. You just didn't think of that. Okay, so let me just do a quick little intro of this. So Noice, if you're not familiar, is whoops, let me get this here. Is a app on Farcaster. So if you're not on Farcaster and you're watching this, maybe you're on crypto Twitter, or you're finding us on LinkedIn, who knows at this point. But if you don't know, on Farcaster, you can use the Noice app and set it up and put different settings. Use any token on base, I believe, that will then tip out based on your configuration. So, for example, you can set for every like, I'm giving, a penny in whatever this particular token every time I like a post. So this kind of makes it much easier to add a financial reward to what you're seeing in your feed. And then the Noice team also has a token called, obviously, Noice. And they did do an airdrop yesterday. So this was amazing to see. And the way they did it, and this is kind of what I wanted to highlight. Oops, where'd it go? Is the way they did it is you had to claim by quotecasting. Why isn't this showing? Come on. Oh, maybe I didn't pull it up. That's why. By quotecasting the particular thing, and then it would send you your airdrop. So I thought that was very interesting approach. I call it interesting. Other people may have different words, and we'll talk about that. But I thought it was a really interesting approach. So you quotecasted this, you tagged creators that you wanted to let's say that make Farcaster Noice for you. So I appreciate all the tags for everyone who tagged me. That was very nice. So when it rains, it pours, airdrop 2 billion Noice live now. And then we had more detail on all of this in terms of what was sent out. There's information about the eligibility, and it was related to your activity within the Noice app, as well as if you were a diamond-handed holder, and we can jump into a little bit more on that. And they did work with Jeff Goldberg from Social Forensics, OpenRank, Ruminations, from Quotient to make sure we don't reward coordinated, inauthentic spam behaviors and value the best for the best. So I did think that was a great approach. So let's bring up TK right now to talk a little bit about this. I want to start by chatting about the Noice app, and then we'll jump into the airdrop. And GM, how are you this morning?
I just
GM,
took a nap
TK?
after like 40. Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, we might have a little lag, but yes, we hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I just took like an hour and a half long nap after like probably 40 hours of being awake. So it's actually a good morning, but it's like 7 p.m. here, and I'm quite excited to be here. So thank you so much for having me.
Well,
I'd
thank
love to
you
dive
so
straight in. Thank you for the kind introduction as well.
Thank you for joining us. And I didn't even think about, yeah, you've had an incredibly busy few days. So I'm sure there was not much sleep happening. Let's start with first, is there anything you would correct from my introduction of the Noice app and sort of why you just, maybe my question is, why did you decide to create that mini app? Sort of what was the inspiration and where are you, like what's coming next with it? Because I know you have some features that are in alpha, and then we'll jump into the airdrop.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think, look, the inspiration obviously like goes back from like what degen and Moxie were able to do, but at the same point in time, like this time we arrived at something which we truly think can change how likes are viewed on the internet. Like there's a trillion likes on the internet every day. If I can move crypto with a billion likes, I have the largest on-chain behavioral graph ever. Uh, what we've done, like what we've always focused on, is that look, 90% don't try to invent the playbook. 10% of the times, like increase the efficiency of the system so well. Like you won't see us on the feed, you won't see us spamming the feed or 1000 XYZ, 5000 XYZ. It's always happening manual, like invisibly, right? Like it doesn't have to be manual and like written, or it's not spammy. Right? So we just thought that's a big enough reason. I think if you do that job fairly well and you allow any token to be tipped, let's not force fit tipping your own token,
That's huge.
then that's a good start, yes, but it's still a really long way from like probably say doing a billion transactions a day, or like sort of tokenizing a billion likes a day, right? Like we're doing like what 100,000 today. That's just with like 7,000 Farcaster active tippers. Super excited about the base app coming in. Um, but like everything that's coming next, sure, I can tell you a couple of features. There is absolutely, like a feature called stimmies that we're working on, which is one to many. As long as you
Ooh.
like this post, follow this post, buy a certain token, hold a certain token from your Farcaster wallet, we can verify it and we can reward you more for it. Right? So like
Oh,
any
that's
token,
cool.
I don't know if you saw Jake, like you should probably pull up like what Jake has done with QR or
Yep.
what Ben Bassler did with Dash, or there's like, we're testing it gradually with like one person a day with like something interesting, like follow this account, like this cast, recast, and they just distribute like $0.50, 25 cents, so on and so forth. Right? It's like, it's buying them distribution like straight off the bat, which is interesting. But what we've been working and racking our brains over is like, look, how do we probably get bigger than, like, can we be bigger than Farcaster or Base itself? What is the play for us to like really think of putting crypto? Like, look, crypto has been around for like a great deal of time. Crypto social has historically never worked at scale. I think like we finally are at a behavior where crypto can attach to like standard web2 practices. Like every, like a 3-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 93-year-old knows what a like is. So my market really is like these 5 billion people who are spending time on the internet every day, right? Now start thinking about what can I do to like get 50 million of them, which is like 0.1% of them, to actively use us, because our day 30 numbers are like 93%, right? Like if somebody starts tipping, like somebody starts tipping with us, 93% of them end up tipping, and there is no house money, right?
Yeah.
There are no daily allowances, there is no earn via yield, so on and so forth. It's literally the money you have in your wallet is what you spend. um, so I mean, I could go on about I could go on about it for hours. There are features, yes. There are new platforms like Coinbase Wallet, yes. But we're still like really trying to figure what's the magnanimous home run here.
We
Um,
did show
yeah.
Ben from Dash's cast earlier that he was using that new feature from you and being able to set it that, hey, if anyone replies to this, they get this, 25-cent tip. And I think that's really interesting. I think that's going to be super useful for driving attention as well. It's similar to amps in that way, except you're sort of rewarding the action after the fact rather than before. So I think that's really interesting. And I do find that when I'm liking things elsewhere, I'm wishing that I could tip it. It's kind of funny. It's like, it feels weird now almost when somebody doesn't get, like, even if it's a penny from me when I'm tipping somewhere else. And my like behavior certainly changed. Interesting. And and I think there's a lot of folks that they might be a little more discerning in their likes as well. And I don't think that's a bad thing either. If you're putting some financialization to it, you might be a little bit more discerning on what you're going to like and what you're hoping to reward.
Which is what I would have assumed, right? But ironically, like if you look at the April month, an average cast had like 0.56 reactions. Starting May, it has now become 2.5 reactions per cast. So we have like 4x the amount of reactions happening on the network while you're literally sending out money. It's absurd to think about. Like I think about it very often, like why do people tip? Because like when my Web2 friends or like just generally my people who are not in crypto, they're like, look, why do people tip? And then you have your answers about, hey, like your favorite creators, altruism, so on and so forth. None of those make sense. None of those will get you to PMF, right? Like there has to be a very intrinsic reason as to like, why are people tipping?
Some of it is attention to, so if you're tipping, so AJ, for example, is tipping the AJ token. He's talking about that in our chat right now. And we see that with even bigger brands or projects that are using their token to tip, like Better is a good example with Toady Hawk, but all these different, and that I think is the unlock. When I'm able to tip out a token that I've created or that's bringing attention to my brand, that's, something that is very difficult to capture in general in media. So anything that helps to drive attention to something, I think is super helpful and is going to find that PMF for sure. So when you expand that out and say you're somebody like, I don't know, Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Taco Bell or whatever, if you start to bring in that level, that changes the game and changes the way that they grab attention. And it could be as simple as you like this post and we give you this tip, or they're going around and looking for where they're tagged and doing it that way. So there's all these different approaches that I think are going to be really interesting for brands as well as individuals. But that's where I see the usefulness. So I really appreciated that you were allowed to use other tokens. And, Degen Maxi, love Degen. I think it was really drove this whole narrative. But this adds like a different layer where you can use all different kinds of tokens, I think is super helpful. So appreciate the work here. It's pretty epic. Are you finding that most people are tipping in other denominations besides USDC, or is it USDC still the highest? Like, what are you seeing being used?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have like the chart right in front of me. I think it's like 40% of the things are in USD and everything else is like non-USD. So like,
okay,
let me just share that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm curious what
sharing it in the private chat. Like you could share it to the community.
Okay.
Pull it up.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. I'm really curious to see like what the big tipper, like what the tokens are that people are tipping mostly. And I was curious too if people are tipping Degen via Noice app, because that would be something that would make a lot of sense as well. If you're getting airdrops for certain tokens, I know I've done that a couple times where I've shifted because I got an airdrop, I shifted to tipping that token. So like when we got the Zoro one, for example. So I think that I can see happening as well. Okay, let me pull this up, and we'll also share the link to this Dune dashboard in our show notes as well. Oops, come on. Okay. So this is really interesting. So you can see what everybody is, oops, did that work? There we go. You can see what everyone is tipping, which is very cool as well. So all of this information is public, and it's awesome to be able to see it in an easy way, in an easy format. So this is great. Okay. So we've got some really interesting data here too. Average tips per tipper is 407. That's kind of crazy. And 32,000 unique address recipients, over 2 million tips, 76,000 in the last 24 hours. And USD amount tip last 24 hours was over 1,700. Wow, that's incredible. So this is some incredible data for anyone who wants to check this out. That's pretty amazing. Wow, very cool. Very, very cool. So we'll make sure that this link to the Doom dashboard is in our show notes as well.
Yeah, just when eventually when you can go down, you will see that there's a pie chart with like a split of like just a little further down.
Okay, let me pull that.
You should see a pie chart where you can see what people are taking.
Come on. We're having some slowness today. Apologies. Okay, where's our pie chart? There we go. 5 top tips tokens by volume. You've got the USDC in orange there. Noice in the gray. We've got Fair. Oh, that's interesting. I was surprised Fair was such a big one. And then ETH or WETH and Cart. I didn't even see any. I don't even know what Cart is. That's crazy. But that's the 5th top one. 5th one on the list. That's crazy.
Just scroll a bit.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think if you just scroll one more
Say
below,
that
I
again,
think you should
TK?
see the entire limitless list of. If you can just scroll another layer below, like just another scroll, you would see like the entire list of.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, right above.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Listing, but yeah.
All the things. Yeah. That's great. And Pro, Pro, when the Pro airdrop happened, I was
we've
Pro,
learned that people
like all those things. Say that again? That have what?
Yeah, I think there's a small lag.
Yeah.
People who have their own tokens have the highest incentive to tip/reward others. It's like you have to keep thinking about like, okay, like how am I going to help these token creators reach 1,000 more wallets programmatically, which is where Stimmies comes in. Or like, what am I truly going to do for every token on the network, right? Like, I'm not too sure. I wonder like if one token necessarily needs to win for the ecosystem to win. Sometimes just the ecosystem can win even without like one king making, token. But yeah, like that's how we've been thinking, that anybody with a token or anybody who's available of a certain token, anybody who has a new feature launch should probably like have a way. Yeah, should probably have a way to like reward their community. So that's just been a core principle so far.
I think this is going to become like a full, the way that you launch a project. It's going to be another part of that launch plan will be the token for your project, setting it up as part of Noice, setting it up in all these different places. I think it just makes sense to me, especially as brands move more into the crypto space. It's going to make a lot of sense for them to sort of just have their own thing. And I've been tempted to, it also has like this incentive for Clanker and for token launchers, because I've been thinking, I need a new token to launch. Like I need another new one. Like it's just because I want something that's customized to me rather than it just being the generic USDC or someone else's token. So, Adrienne, thoughts on any of this?
Are we playing our if you say flywheel drinking game?
Yeah. Flywheel. Yep, totally. Absolutely flywheel.
It's not a crypto podcast unless you hear us say flywheel.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
No, the lag is awful on my end. I'm so sorry for today. It's like, it really reminds me of the early days. TK, we've been streaming for almost 2 years. It's like, and in the early days was really buggy, and then it got so smooth, and I don't know what's going on lately, but it's tough.
We have some platform issues the past couple days. Yeah.
I would love to hear about the data analysis and kind of not so much the airdrop mechanics, but working with OpenRank and Jeff and social forensics, and in terms of how you thought about that. I think that was interesting.
Right. So like on the second we launched, we'd committed like a great percentage of supply for airdrops, split over time, split over milestones, split over new platforms, so on and so forth. So we like the day of launch, we knew okay, we are going to commit to this and we are going to do this well, and we are not going to do this on by our own selves. You have to get people who have worked with Farcaster user data, so on and so forth. Um, Obviously, like OpenRank worked fairly closely with degen. Joff has been like a good friend of our team for like a while now. Like prior to Noice, all of us, like the same five of us, were working on Cast Money. It was like a trading client on Farcaster. We built it. It was quite beautiful. It was like it took us like probably 7x the more time. Like Cast Money is something we spent like 8 months on, but Noice has had like 80 times the success. It's just sometimes it's very disproportional, but we've known Joff, we've known a few people, like even Jordan from like that time to an extent. Um, the way we started thinking about it is like, look, obviously, like we have to completely avoid all sorts of like spam or inauthentic behavior. Noice right from the start hasn't been about house money; it's about your own money. It's like it's almost always what's in your wallet is what you spend. But a lot of people have still like tried doing several things that could harm the network or they're farming, right? So the approach we took is like, okay, we're going to largely look at diversity as the core theme, whether you're tipping or whether you're a creator. If you're tipping, you need to be interacting with a diverse range of FIDs and sending them tips, not with like a small set of like 10 people or 3 people or 7 accounts, but like you're looking at like 40 to like 100 at the bare minimum, right? Like basis age of the account, so on and so forth. And same as a creator. If you're a creator, you need to be able to have received tips from hundreds of unique accounts, right? It cannot be that, oh, you're only getting tips from like the same 7 repetitive people to like qualify for this. So like that has like a lot of time was spent in that, and like there was a lot of nuance as to like what do you define, how do you not define something. um and then obviously like if you have to be using Noice to be able to earn the airdrop, whether as a creator or whether as a tipper. If you didn't have your tip configurations on, then you do not qualify, right? Because at the end of the day, like I think we prioritize the product and the product success a lot more. Generally, like that's been a priority over necessarily the short-term volatility a token gets. So we wanted to like reward users more than just like people who feel like they're super entitled to an airdrop. I do not know why. Like they like when people provide like absolutely zero value.
You
To
just hit on the thing that makes us crazy. And I was watching the comments on the feed, and I did pull a couple of them, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious the people who are getting mad that they didn't get an airdrop when they literally haven't, when they're saying in the thing that they're mad about that they didn't use the app. Like what? Like what? This was from Ramsey, and this was so funny. My favorite, whoops, let me pull it up. My favorite Wawa cast, my favorite Wawa cast on this topic was the one that said, I have never used the Noice app nor heard of the mini app, but I didn't get an airdrop, and they were mad. What?
Yeah, sometimes like it truly like there were some people they were just like so entitled. Like I really was just like quite pissed. But then again, like I get it. Like such as uh, just generally like the rule with airdrops is no airdrop ever can satisfy 100% of all humans alive, right? Like
No.
there is practically no way that's ever happening. Um,
It's just so funny to me, but I think you handled it really well with this particular post. Let me pull it up. That says, why didn't I get an airdrop? And it explains to people why you may not have gotten an airdrop. And it goes into the details, very specific details of everything, of exactly what you optimized before, how you did it. Also like the numbers, everything. So if you didn't get an airdrop this time, go take a look at this, and it will help you figure out as to why. If you've never used the app, that would be the why. will save you the reading right now. We can save you some time. Like, let me just tell you right now.
Yeah, because like we just knew right from the bat, and this is the most common question you're gonna get. I'm not gonna like write a message to them each time. I knew that I have to direct them to a link each of these times. So it's like, let me just think of everything possible and just keep adding to this thread.
Yeah, that was perfect. I thought it was handled very well. So yeah, go take a look at that if you're still confused as to why you may not have gotten this airdrop. And then there was also a mechanic where you had to quote cast. So that was also the part of the airdrop mechanic. So these are the things. Make sure you do them. Yeah.
I mean, like there are some interesting claim flows in the past. We again like our idea is that if it's not programmatic, we don't want to do it. I do not want to do something that's very manual or like that requires you to like comment something and tag a specific token with a number amount. Like I just don't like it. Like I just don't like it at all, to be honest, right? So like any feature we have, anything that interestingly that we want to do, we want it to happen the exact same way things have happened programmatically, right? Like wallet to wallet, invisible, just do a specific action and we were just like literally testing out stimmies, right? Like this was like the biggest stimmy experiment for us. It worked out brilliantly well. Every person was replied. There were no mix-ups at all. All the right money was spent. We distributed like $100,000 of sorts, right? So like
crazy, amazing,
everything went well. Yeah,
it's great. It was absolutely great. The other thing that I was thinking about here too is there were some folks who were like, "Oh my God, I'm getting all these notifications. I don't want to see this." You can mute people. Just mute it. Just mute it. You won't see it at all, and then you can go back and unmute it after the airdrop's over. If you're tired of seeing yourself being tagged as a wonderful creator, I am not tired of that whatsoever. But if you are, feel free to mute liberally if that's what you need to do. But stop whining. Just do it. Just take control and stop whining.
You're such a mom.
I am such a mom. I'm such a mom. Quit your whining.
Stop whining,
I'm going to turn this car around if you don't stop your whining about the airdrop. So,
yeah, I mean that and then just generally like I've learned that look, it's almost always great if people are hating on you, and like we do not have any dearth of like haters or skeptics in the ecosystem. Like some amounts it's good. Sometimes it's just like point right annoying, but like most of the times I'm like great. Like if somebody smart says something against me, like I love it, right? Because I'm just like, okay, like this is great, right? Like I'm doing something that a lot of people don't agree with, and I personally don't think you should be agreeable in nature in general, irrespective of how like Noice says it's for everyone, literally, right? Like I'm not trying to like people please. I'm doing like, I know what we're building is helping like creators more than it's helping us, right? So I already know like the right places, we're doing the right things, and people have to like anything like we just enjoyed it, to be very honest. Like we were just like awesome. Like we were all like continuously looking at it with objectivity, right? And we were like, okay, like sure, he's shitting on us, he's hating on us, etc., but is he saying the truth? Like is he right or is he wrong? Like that's what matters more than whatever stance you have on us, right? So
I think that's great. It's a great approach to like don't dismiss something just because it's negative. See if there's some truth in it. And I've seen a few missteps. I've seen a couple missteps by you, but everybody does make some. And I feel like what you're doing though is you're correcting them quickly and you're learning from it. So I think that's what's important for sure.
I'm going to text you so that I can get an idea of them so that I can avoid them in the future. I hope that's all right.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you have a hard stop, so we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want folks to know or anything we didn't cover that you're like, oh, I want to make sure they know about XYZ?
Not really. I think we're super excited about the Base new Coinbase wallet app and like everything that they're going to do next. I think that's our next best bet to get like a few million new FIDs. So a lot of work is going in there. If any of you all are in LA when that happens, like next week, come say hi. I'll be there too. And
oh, you're going to be in LA. Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to be making it to this one, but I am going to be watching the stream, and I'm very excited to see everything that's going to go down. So I think this is going to be a big moment for Farcaster as well as base. So amazing. Amazing. Hopefully.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much to everybody who joined in. Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you.
Thank you,
Professor.
TK. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And we'll see you. We'll see you on the feed. It's been Noice.
You shall.
It's been Noice.
It's been Noice. It's been Noice. Good luck with your next meeting. And try and stay awake.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
And with that, everyone, we're going to wrap up. I think we covered pretty much everything today that we were going to cover. So we're going to call it there. So yes to crypto, by the time you get to this, we're going to be off. But you'll still be able to catch up. And we love, I love seeing my yes 2C. I think it's yes 2C. Or Y2C, or my yes token. Yes 2 token. That's what it is that I usually get from him. So it's so funny.
It's so funny. I feel like, so yes to crypto's watching he joins late and then he watches the live stream on whatever 1.5x speed.
Yeah.
And he's chatting with us in our real time now. Yeah. But he's talking about something we talked about a few minutes ago. It's a little like time traveling.
A little bit. He's still out of sync. Yeah. That's funny. He'll catch up. That was great though. And it's great to kind of hear what they're doing. The other thing I forgot to mention that I think is really cool is that you can set an OK banger tip. So if you want to comment OK banger, you can have it count for whatever amount or any phrase. So you can create your own phrase. So if something else pops up and there's something trending, you could just create your own phrase and add that tip. I just think that's a really cool function. I think there's just some really interesting functionality that they're experimenting with that is kind of taking things to the next level, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
He was on the panel, at Permissionless.
Right.
With Ted and Colin, which is also, if you want to watch that, it's on our channel. Not the best quality because I did it from my iPhone, but and I think people really talk about his have a lot of faith in him as a founder.
Nice.
And I think we saw a little bit of that when just the immediate reaction when you're like, you've made some mistakes and but the immediate thing is I'm going to DM you and find out what that is. And this is on a live stream, had no idea he was going to hear that from you.
And I wasn't, and I'm not going to, things are going to happen. There's going to be missteps. There's going to be whatever. And that happens to everybody. And we've all done this. It's happened to me. And I think when you're a new founder and a young founder, it's going to happen more often because you haven't had those experiences yet and you learn from them and you move on. So that's all.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to talk about how I haven't claimed my airdrop.
Of course you haven't.
But I won't have an airdrop.
You've never used the app.
I've opened it and I tried playing around with it and I never actually set it up. I never actually set it up. So
I think you should take some of your OI. Go claim. You probably have more waiting for you. So go claim it and use that to tip out. Because it's actually, and that's a kind of really funny as a tipping.
Or I have to clank Adrienne's face.
That might be good as well. Yeah, I've been itching for a new token. I've been thinking about it and I have something in mind. And then I always am just most of the time what I end up doing is I see something and it pops in my head and I think it's funny and I just do it without giving it any thought whatsoever. That
is actually my face. I would create a token for my face if only DeWoofy could go through and screenshot. I don't know exactly. One. Yeah. I can't do it on demand. I can't do it on demand.
So links and DeWoofy, if you're listening, we need you to go do some homework and give us the exact Adrienne face.
No, don't do this. See, I'm going to go buy some oil today. Don't do that. Do not do that. Also, Moon Poppy, how do I clank?
By the way, nothing we say here is financial advice ever.
Oh, no. Here's my financial advice. Don't buy the stupid tokens. Don't. That is financial advice.
We have different financial advice, but also that's going to be our stance when we're officially on here.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I usually just say, do not copy trade me. at all, ever. I don't want that pressure.
My
and only one
only-
time has that been wrong.
By the way, is the lag gone now that we're just in chat mode?
Of course not. Of course it is. Yeah.
Like we have no serious news to give. We did it all. We're just chatting.
Oh my God.
think
And we did
it's
in
fine.
and the interview, like right towards the end of the interview, it started to delag.
I think it's a StreamYard thing.
Yeah, we have something going on
I
with
think it's a
StreamYard today.
platform.
And they did
Yeah.
give us a little notification of like, don't use filters. This is why we look like this today. I'm like, oh, my hair's frizzy. So you can see my like random living room background. So we don't have a virtual background. It's just a shit show.
Someone in the chat tell us we look beautiful. Our egos
Yeah,
are
please.
without the filters are really,
Just
we need it.
before I run out and get some Botox. We should do Friday for our offsite.
I got
Botox.
Botox yesterday, by the way. I'm good for 3 months.
I still have never gotten it, so
because you don't need it.
It's time.
No,
It's probably time. Anyway,
so now, and by the way, and I wish TK was still here because now I could talk to him. But the only if we're doing our post, thank you, Miriam. We needed that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. On the inside, because beauty's on the inside. Okay, so
it's not your word.
You'll we'll send TK this afterwards and then he can respond. I'll say my two kind of critiques I'd say is one, he's really pushing the like there's no house money, like which actually is the mechanism of Noice, right? Which is it's not based on future airdrops, you're tipping what's in your wallet or distributing what's in your wallet. Except he's saying this all on the week when there was an airdrop, which is literally free money. So it's a little, whatever.
And like there's that workaround of using airdrop tokens that you've gotten as you're tipping out, which great. I mean, it helps the distribution, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
And I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And I really like him as a founder. He has a strong point of view, right? So you've got that little of like, I'm not going to go ask 1,000 people what they want and try to please 1,000 people. This is what I like to see. Invisible money being moved around programmatically, everything. But
the lag is back.
Oh no. Great. Fantastic. By the way, if the lag, okay, so I'm going to do a little visual. You and I are on this platform talking to each other, and there's definitely a lag, but StreamYard takes the different inputs, combines it into one stream, sends it out to YouTube and Twitter and everywhere else. There's no lag there.
I know.
So the people who are watching are not getting a lag. Like it's like it's fine. It's just between the two of us, and it's
annoying.
Drive us crazy.
It's annoying. It's making us crazy. Yeah.
It's not Noice.
It's not Noice. It's really not Noice.
Noice. It's really annoying.
By the way, did you see us both go like earlier? We were like about the people complaining about free money that makes us crazy.
Crazy. Okay. So if I'm back, here's what I'd say to TK. It's really good to have a point of view, right? Like this is what you're building. Keep focusing on what you want and less about what you're not doing. So don't use like which is the other initial form of tipping, because everything builds on everything and other people like, so that's all. Don't.
Yeah.
If that's a setting on your,
when we logged in today, StreamYard said there was going to be issues. So we knew we were going to be in trouble.
But what would the setting be? Do you want to, what would the setting be? Do you want to lag? Oh, maybe like a delay, like a live delay, but it's just.
Not normally. It's just something weird today. There's some issues going on. That's why we had to turn off our touch up appearance and virtual backgrounds. Anyway. Yes, unnoice. It's very unnoice. Anyway, this has been fun. I really think that, Clanker and other token launchers and Noice are just such a good pair. It makes a lot of sense to me that you launch your own token and then you pop it in there. And I can see that, like I said, expanding to brands in a big way down the road as a way of driving attention.
And while you're doing, I just touched up my appearance. I want to show people who are watching.
See how
I turned it
beautiful
on
she
so
looks
my good.
now.
See how it just kind of smooths out all the
Smooths everything out.
colors and the wrinkles. Okay.
Yes, just a little bit. I don't have mine on, but maybe I will just to show the difference really quick. It's probably not going to work. Yeah, I better not mess with it. It's not working. Anyway, hopefully soon we can get our regular touch-up appearance back. It's like old school broadcasting, so you can bleep things.
Except we don't bleep.
We don't bleep. That's so funny. Yeah, we have a little buzzer. Don't say those words. All right. Anything else? Oh, one more thing. Just one more reminder. At noon Eastern today, come play trivia. You have a chance to win a piece or all of 100K degen if you are up on pulp culture. So if you're somebody who watches reality shows, if you're somebody who scrolls TikTok on a regular basis, if you are terminally online, this is the trivia for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. So also, if you have thoughts on Love Island and who you think should win, pop those in the chat right now, just because I'm curious. Or pop it in the Love Island channel, because, you know, I like those kinds of things. I've been obsessed. There's only a few days left, so I'm a little obsessed with Love Island. All right. Anything else that I've forgotten? Tomorrow. We're back on tomorrow, not on Friday. We're back on tomorrow at 11:30 West Coast friendly time. We'll start with news, and then we have EV Mavericks coming on to chat about all the fun things that they do in their DAO. And I'm really excited to chat with them and learn more, and chat with our friend Ben. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And if you've never watched Love Island, I recommend you just keep it that way at this point, because it's a lot. It's a lot.
But also when you play trivia, it's multiple choice questions, so you can still play and just
you can still figure things out. There's a lot of like process of elimination you can do. That's funny. Who picked that topic? So Rick, I'm telling your boss that was my teacher. We're gonna change it up these for the rest of July. We're changing it up each week. So one week is gonna be like music, another week's gonna be crypto, trivia, another week is gonna be, I think there was one more topic sports, and then this week is pop culture. So we're changing it up a little bit. All right, everybody. Anything else, Adrienne, before we call it?
No, just please pray to the, I don't know, internet gods, because thank you for staying with us during lags. We appreciate you all. And we'll see you on the timeline.
We'll see you on the timeline. And with that, everybody, bye-bye. Maybe.